Their feelings for you were never fake or fleeting. From the very beginning, what they felt was genuine and real, something deep that shook them at the core of who they are. Yet instead of being honest about these emotions, they chose denial. Fear held them back, fear of the changes that being with you would require in their life. Loving you meant stepping out of their comfort zone, confronting truths they weren't ready to face, and walking away from situations they had clung to for far too long. The weight of such a transformation terrified them, so rather than embracing what they truly wanted, they resisted it. Out of that fear and confusion, they made choices that led them toward third parties, karmic relationships, or situations that seemed easier to handle at the time. But now those very decisions have become the chains that bind them. They are paying the price for running from authenticity, and they know it. What they once thought was a safe path turned out to be a painful detour. They believed that walking away from you was the best choice, perhaps even a necessary one, but in hindsight, they see how wrong they were. Their heart whispers the truth they tried to silence: losing you was never worth it. In their karmic situation, they feel emotionally and mentally tortured. There is no peace, no sense of genuine fulfillment, only emptiness. The very connections they clung to have left them hollow. They find themselves going through the motions of life, but nothing lights them up inside. Deep down, they crave the warmth and stability they once felt in your presence. They miss you profoundly, though they keep this hidden from the world. In silence, they cry for you, aching for the bond that once gave them a sense of belonging and peace. Your energy, your independence, and the strength you carry within yourself are pulling them back toward you like a powerful magnet. Yet at the same time, these qualities make them insecure. They fear that during this separation, someone else might see what they see in you, someone else might step in and receive the love and attention they once took for granted. The thought of another person being close to you fills them with worry, regret, and even jealousy. Your absence is something they feel deeply every single day, and it is slowly eating away at them from the inside. Those around them can sense it too. People notice that while they may be physically present, mentally and emotionally they are somewhere else entirely. Their thoughts remain consumed by you. Since being with you, they have realized something life-changing: the connection they shared with you cannot be duplicated. It is not possible for them to experience that same depth of love, passion, and spiritual alignment with anyone else. You awakened feelings in them that were unique, irreplaceable, and unforgettable. Now, when they attempt to find solace elsewhere, they are only met with disappointment and emptiness. No matter where they go, no matter who they are with, nothing compares to the intensity of being with you. They long for your healing touch, the safety of your embrace, and the unconditional love that only you gave so freely. Meanwhile, you continue to stand strong on your own. You've maintained your independence, your focus, and your ability to move forward in life. From the outside, it may even seem as if you are unaffected, but your strength only makes them yearn for you more. They find it increasingly difficult to connect with you, even on a telepathic or spiritual level. They try to reach out to you in their thoughts, hoping you'll feel the pull, but the distance they created through their actions has built a wall that they struggle to break through. What pains them the most is your ability to pull away from them when necessary. They may not admit it or say it out loud, but they hate when you withdraw your energy and focus elsewhere. It terrifies them to feel the possibility of truly losing you, yet they know they are the reason for the separation in the first place. Your silence and your absence force them to face their mistakes, and the regret weighs heavily on them every single day. Now they are left in a space of longing and reflection. They think back on the moments you shared, the laughter, the love, the comfort, and realize how much they took it all for granted. The karmic path they chose has not only failed to fulfill them but has also shown them the depth of what they lost. It has become painfully clear that no substitute can replace the connection they shared with you. And as much as they may try to mask it, their spirit is crying out, yearning to come back to you, to heal the wounds they created, and to rediscover the love that was always meant to be theirs. You are still the person who holds their heart, even if they tried to deny it. You are still the source of light in their darkest hours, even when they tried to block it out. And though they may continue to battle with fear, pride, and uncertainty, one truth remains unshaken: their love for you has not faded. In fact, it has only grown stronger in your absence. Your eyes hold so many memories. When I look into them, I see the story of us, everything we shared, everything we lost, and everything that still lingers between us. They carry the brightness of the good times, when laughter seemed endless and love felt unshakable. They also carry the heaviness of the bad times, the memories we both wish could be erased, the arguments that cut us deeply, and the silences that grew too wide to cross. In your eyes, I see the echo of our fights and the pain of our misunderstandings, but I also see the same sadness and fear I once saw the day we parted ways. That day will always remain one of the most defining moments of my life, the day we decided to bring an end to something so powerful, something we once thought was unbreakable. Yet even as we chose to walk away, I knew that what we had could never truly come to an end. Our love was not something that could be undone with words or distance. The connection we shared was woven too deeply into who we are. It lingers still, quietly alive, even if we are no longer together as a couple. I carry it with me in the quiet moments, in the stillness of the night, in the way certain memories resurface without warning. I still remember that day as if it were yesterday. It plays in my mind like a scene permanently etched in time, tattooed in my brain and imprinted on my soul. There is one memory, especially, that will never fade: the moment you looked at me and expressed your love without holding anything back. Your words carried a weight I could never forget, and your emotions revealed just how deeply you cared for me. It was in that moment that I felt both the warmth of being truly loved and the ache of knowing I was about to let it all slip away. I told you then that I was leaving to better my life. I made you believe that my choice was for both of us, that my absence would eventually lead to something greater. But the truth I hid from you was different. I was leaving because I wasn't ready for everything our love demanded of me. I wasn't prepared to face the depth of it, the responsibility of nurturing it, or the vulnerability it required. I never meant to betray your trust, but I know that in many ways, I did. My actions and my silence left you with questions I never answered. I know I was wrong in how I handled my emotions, wrong in how I made you feel, and wrong in walking away without giving you the honesty you deserved. Yet one thing remains unshaken: my love for you is always real. No matter how it may have looked, no matter how much my lack of expression suggested otherwise, I loved you. I loved you with a depth I didn't know how to put into words, and I still do. But because I couldn't show that love the way you needed, because I struggled to open up and express the storm of feelings inside me, you thought I was unfaithful. You thought I would never return. I can't blame you for believing that. My silence spoke louder than any words I could have said, and in that silence, you felt abandoned. The truth, however, is that my silence was not born of disloyalty, it was born of regret. It came from the weight of guilt pressing down on me, guilt for what I did to us, guilt for failing to be the person you needed me to be. In all the relationships I had before you, I often felt invisible. I moved through love like a shadow, always present but never fully seen, never truly understood. But with you, everything changed. You made me feel visible for the first time. You made me feel heard when I spoke, and even when I couldn't find the words, you still seemed to understand. You made me feel loved in a way that was both fierce and gentle, something I had never known before. You gave everything you had to keep us together, to fight for us when I should have been fighting alongside you. But instead of lifting you up, I made you question yourself. I made you doubt your worth, and worse, I made you doubt your feelings for me. That is something I will always carry shame for. I am ashamed because you deserved more than I gave. You deserved honesty, commitment, and unwavering love, things I held inside but failed to show. You deserved someone who would meet you halfway, not someone who left you carrying the weight of our relationship alone. I am ashamed because my inability to communicate left scars on us both. I let fear control me, and in doing so, I hurt the one person who made me feel alive, the one person who saw me for who I truly was. And yet, even with all my failures, I cannot erase the truth of what we shared. I cannot deny the love that burned so brightly between us, a love that still flickers in my heart even now. Our story may not have the ending we dreamed of, but it is not one I can ever forget. It lives on in me, in the lessons I've learned, in the longing that sometimes catches me off guard, and in the hope that maybe, one day, I will find the courage to love as fearlessly as you once loved me. I wish I could rewrite our past, but I cannot. What I can do is honor it by never forgetting, by carrying it with me as both a reminder and a lesson. I am regretful, I am guilty, and I am ashamed, but above all, I am grateful. Grateful for you, for your love, and for the way you changed me. You made me feel seen, heard, and loved in a way no one else ever has. And though I failed you, I will never stop cherishing what we had, because it was real, and it was ours. Your partner is reaching a profound turning point in their journey. The karmic contracts that once held them bound are now coming to an end. For a long time, they were caught in a cycle of control, manipulation, and emotional entanglement that made it difficult for them to think clearly or act freely. The karmic relationship they were in created layers of confusion, illusion, and even fear, keeping them from stepping into their full truth. Yet, the hold of those patterns is loosening, and they are beginning to break free. This release is not happening overnight, but each step they take forward is allowing them to reclaim their sense of self and their personal power. What once seemed impossible is now unfolding naturally as they awaken to the reality of what they truly desire. As they shed the weight of karmic influences, your partner is beginning to see themselves in a new light. They are no longer content to remain passive or let life happen to them. Instead, they are choosing to stand firmly in their masculinity, not in a harsh or domineering way, but in the sense of strength, clarity, and responsibility. This shift is significant because for so long, they were operating from a place of fear, doubt, and uncertainty. Now, with each passing day, they are regaining the courage to move forward. Their confidence is slowly being rebuilt, and with that renewed confidence comes a sense of direction. They are finally realizing that they have the power to create the life they want, rather than allowing external forces to dictate their path. This inner transformation has led them to think of you more deeply than ever. They feel an undeniable pull toward you, one that has not diminished despite the silence and distance. In fact, their connection to you has become even more apparent in contrast to the karmic entanglements they have endured. While those old cycles drained them, their thoughts of you bring light, warmth, and hope. They are beginning to understand that what they feel for you is genuine, enduring, and unlike anything they experienced in the past. This recognition is driving them to seek contact with you again. They long to reach out, to bridge the gap that silence created, and to share the truth of what has been happening in their life. One of the things they most want to explain is why they left without saying a word. At the time, they could not put their emotions into words, nor could they clearly articulate the confusion they were experiencing. They may have felt ashamed of their inability to free themselves, or perhaps they feared burdening you with their struggles. Now, however, they are finding the strength to speak their truth. They want to express not only what they went through but also the lessons they have learned. They want to let you know that the silence was never a reflection of their feelings for you, but rather a reflection of the turmoil they were trapped in. Throughout this period of separation, your partner has gained a completely different perspective on life. The distance gave them the space to step back and observe not just their relationship with you, but also their relationship with themselves and others. They are seeing the patterns they once repeated with greater clarity, and they are beginning to understand why certain challenges came into their life. This shift in perspective has changed everything for them. Where once there was confusion, there is now clarity. Where there was doubt, there is now a growing sense of certainty. They see you and the connection you share in a much different light, one that feels more sacred, more purposeful, and more aligned with who they are becoming. Still, there are some loose ends that must be tied up before they can fully move toward you. Their karmic situation, while unraveling quickly, is not entirely over yet. These final threads must be addressed so that they do not carry unfinished baggage into the next chapter of their life. This part of the process requires patience and persistence, but they are determined to complete it. They no longer wish to repeat old cycles or remain trapped in situations that hold no future. They are preparing themselves emotionally, mentally, and spiritually to move forward in a way that is clean and authentic. As they close out this chapter, their desire to reconnect with you grows stronger each day. They still feel your spark as brightly as ever. In moments of solitude, it is your light that shines in their heart, guiding them back to themselves and to the possibility of a new beginning with you. The memory of your presence brings them comfort and hope, reminding them of what true connection feels like. Unlike the karmic relationship, which drained their energy, your connection inspires and uplifts them. It is this spark that they carry with them as they prepare to take the next step. The journey has not been easy for them, but every struggle has led them to this moment of awakening. They now see themselves as capable of creating real change, of choosing love over fear, and of pursuing the path that truly resonates with their soul. The silence between you is coming to an end. Communication will soon flow, and when it does, it will carry with it the truth, vulnerability, and openness they could not offer before. They are finally stepping into their power, ready to leave the past behind and move toward a future where love and authenticity lead the way.